This trip was one of the first times that I've tried using my brand new micro cassette recorder for trip notes. My conclusion is it works fine. My plan was to move up at a quick pace to the summit, then get out with a flashlight after dark. You won't believe this. A coyote, first walking, then running down the road 100 feet ahead of my car. Wow, he was close. I could see him very well, till he jumped into a tall grass hedge on the far side of the road and disappeared instantaneously. He was bigger than a fox, medium gray colored, not reddish. A bushy tail with a black tip. Looked as if he might have had something in its mouth, although it was running away from me. This is a rare sighting. At 4:25, I spotted a clearing on the left with 2 pickup trucks parked there. Nobody was around. A small nearby sign reads, Fisherman, and a still smaller sign which read Snow Mountain Trail. An opening in the trees exposed a stream paralleling the road on the left. Stepping out of the small parking clearing into the forest, the path immediately crosses a shallow stream, Little Alder Stream. Dark mud spread over the ground. I followed fairly fresh-laid 4-wheel off-road vehicle tracks. Many moose and deer tracks were well preserved also in this soft mud. A second small stream crossing followed by a yellow arrow. Next, I reached the western edge of Snow Mountain Pond at 5:15. I bushwhacked a dozen yards to the water's edge for a closer look at this mountain pond. The clear water was not too deep. Rocks ringed the pond. Tall pine trees surrounded me. The roof of a cabin was barely visible at the north edge of the pond. From there, I could see the corner of the roof of a cabin on the right. A solitary man quietly fishing in a rowboat near the shore without noticing me. From there, the trail leveled off and got soggy. My altimeter reading was okay. From the Jeep road, a small arrow pointing to the right up the hill. I enjoyed a brief stop here with a snack consisting of a chocolate bar. I continued moving forward quickly, ever mindful of the time. I was still hoping to beat the darkness out. I startled a moose on the trail directly ahead. Actually, she was above me. She moved parallel to the trail exactly at the same pace that I moved forward. After a minute or two of this slow cat and mouse game, she finally decided to make a move, and she cut across the trail directly in front of me, about 100 feet ahead. Amazingly, she soon silently disappeared completely into the woods. No sound, quiet excitement. The trail headed up steeply over impressive rocks, boulders rising up on the left of the trail. I quickly got very careful. I'm still going up fast, however. I'm beginning to slow down now. I've been pushing myself all day long. There was still 500 vertical feet to go to the summit. I found myself breathing hard at exactly 6 p.m. The silver-colored blockhouse rose high above the narrow channel which was formed by the trail cut through tightly packed spruce trees. The structure was in most sad condition, windows all broken, 10 feet square cabin sitting on top of a 30-foot tall tower, which was only 5 feet square at the top. Unusually light and flimsy iron tower to support the mass of the cabin. of a 12-foot square log cabin near the base of the tower. A sad sight indeed. Half of the tar paper covering the roof was gone. The weathered floor was littered with debris. However, it was easy to imagine its former simple beauty, with a large fire ring directly in front of the front door. It could have been a cozy place to stay on a summer night long ago. It must have been well used back then. It was quite a thrill to climb the pipe ladder that goes straight up from the ground at one corner of the base of the tower to a small triangular-shaped trap door in the floor of the fire cabin that swings open on hinges and squeeze my body up through. Everything was so quiet now. The wind howled through the steel of the tower's members only minutes ago. Amazingly, did I imagine that the tower wiggled a little in the slight breeze? A heavy blanket of overcast covered the sky. A true 100-mile view in every direction was appreciated. I can see forever in every direction, I exclaimed to myself in joy and excitement. The mountains a mile or two away looked very dark green, but as I looked further out, say 5 miles, they turned silver blue-gray. Then they turned lighter and lighter in many shades of pastel blue. A bright band of pink sits on the horizon where the sun is setting. Snow Mountain Pond, a small triangle ringed by white, looked like it was only one giant step below me, so close as if I could throw a stone down into it. But it took all of an hour to walk up here from there. A pair of long ponds, undisturbed, unspoiled, one with an island near the center. The only sign of civilization is a hint of a few buildings due north, perhaps 15 miles away. A few big clear cuts off to the distance to the east. What a lot of land, what a view! The sun was setting, pastel horizon darkening, rays forming long beams through holes in the clouds. It was time to go. I knew that the daylight was critical. Furthermore, I was starting to cool off a bit. The iron rungs of the ladder froze my hands so much that it was difficult to hold on. It was Gore-Tex jacket time. I did not relish the thought of having to reach down to the floor and pull that iron ring to lift open the trapdoor on the floor and climbing down that steel step ladder. I sat there on the corner of the floor and finished a peanut butter sandwich to build up my courage. At 6:45, sundown, air getting cooler, it was a tight squeeze for me and my pack between the pipe ladder and the tower support frame. The iron rungs of the ladder froze my hands so much that it was difficult to hold on. It was Gore-Tex jacket. I felt confident. It was exactly 7 o'clock. The daylight faded slowly. I charged down the steep grade, fast down the rocky trail that goes straight down the hill. My plan was to get to Snow Mountain Pond before dark and then stroll out from there, following the wide path, almost a jeep road at places, without a headlamp. I reached the pond at 7:25. It was quiet, the daylight disappearing fast. I was starting to run low on energy as well, even though I still felt pretty good. I decided to march out without my lamp for the moment. Finally, sometime later, I had to use a lamp to be sure of my way out about 100 yards before reaching the car, where the trail twisted at a fork a bit near the stream. I didn't want to make a mistake at this late hour in the day. Perhaps I was getting tired also. The car, my black Scirocco, was right there waiting for me at 8:10. I was so happy that it started without any delay. At 8:40, I finally emerged onto the deserted highway. Absolutely no one was around. It was totally dark in all directions.